This is Saul, and it's another video for Master Resources. What I'm going to cover here today is some Flint knapping supplies and some points and stuff, and just give you an introduction to Flint knapping. Now, you can knap other things besides Flint. They call it Flint knapping, but you can knap hard rocks. Just depends. Flint works the best, but you can also knap glass. Glass works as well. Alright, now you're going to need some tools. You're going to need some rounded stones to basically chip some stuff out on, and you really need a cloth or a piece of leather about this big or so to put on your lap, because the sharp shards that you're cracking off of these rocks is going to get everywhere, and you don't want them getting on you. In fact, some of them are so sharp that they will put a hole in a tire. You don't want to walk on them. You want to wear boots when you're in the area. You want to dispose of the trash properly in an area that you're not going to be walking barefoot in. Now, this is a channel pad. You can make these out of pieces of tire and things like that. Basically, you're going to take your I forget what they call this, but this is just a piece of wood with a copper nail that's been flattened down, and you flake off pieces of flint. And you can take a piece like this, you put it on there. You want to support the back side. I'm not very good at this. I was showed how to do this many years ago, and I practice from time to time. I'm okay at it. I could probably survive, but I'm not exactly the best. Alright? And basically make yourself an arrowhead or a spear point or something like that. And I like to keep a bunch of candidates right in here. Now, you have to understand the rock. You look at it like this would make a nice little hatchet. It's not a really big one. This could make a nice spear point. So you want to look at the rock and see what you can make out of it. You don't want to force something out of it that's not going to be what that rock can be. Now, once you make your arrowhead, you can take some dowels, and the way you find some dowels, if you're going to look in the wild, that's awesome. Unfortunately, around here, something this long is hard to find out in the wild. But you can find it if you look hard enough. You want it to be seasoned so it doesn't warp after you make the thing. That would make a lot of work just be worthless. Now, I go to the store, and I got these from Hobby Lobby, so they're really cheap. They're for practicing on. Once I get the hang of this, which I'm getting the hang of this, then I'm going to switch to oak. Now, you have to roll them on the floor to make sure they're straight, because most of them are not going to be straight. I've found the straight ones here, and I purchased them. I made some arrows out of some of them. I made some crossbow bolts for a hand crossbow out of some of them, and I still got 4 left here. That I'm going to make a couple more fishing arrows for my sling bow, and probably a couple more hunting arrows, probably with different points on them. Now, I also have some animal sinew. This is actual sinew. This stuff, honestly, this stuff is about 20 years old. I've had it the whole time, and it is still good. It is still strong. And I've got 2 different types here. You can use this to haft arrows on to the shafts, and I'm going to go over how to do that now in a few moments. Now, this is a can I like to keep feathers in, and you don't always find good feathers on both sides of the feather. Sometimes only one side's good and the other side's not. So you're going to keep some, you're going to throw some, like this one right here. This side's trash, but this side is good. And this is going to be a little one, because I cut all the trash off of that already. So I keep all my feathers in this can, so when I'm ready to use them, they're not going to be damaged. Now, here's some tools I've made out of some flint that I knapped myself. A lot of times when you're making stuff, you're going to get pieces that are going to be extremely sharp, but they're not going to be arrowheads, they're not going to be spear points. They're just really sharp for other things. Now, what I did was I went over to a friend of mine's house, Steve, and he's got a bunch of real bamboo in his backyard right here in Copper's Cove. and I pulled some of it out, and I got these little pieces, and they're very hard. Now, I took these points, or these shards, and some of them are glass too, like this one's glass, and some of them I'm not sure what they're made out of, but these are just things I've collected over the years, and I've worked myself. I actually worked every single one of these myself into what they are. Now, some of them came almost ready, but I did a little work on every single one of them. Now, what I did was, alright, this is Saul, and I'm back with you with another Master Resources video. I apologize on the previous video. I ran out of space on my card. So let's continue. What I do with these is I go ahead and split the bamboo. I take the piece and I put it in there. Now you got to kind of fish around to see which piece is going to fit in which stick. So you want to make sure it fits properly. Once I get the right fit, and I'm sure it's going to be solid, you can use a little pine pitch or a little glue and glue it in there. I like to use a hot base glue, which pine pitch is. You can also use other glues. Amazing Goop works pretty well, but it's not a hot base glue. It takes a while to set. Now, once I get it in there, then I'll take this one actually has two types of catfish line on it, but basically what I did with the rest of these is I took the catfish line, I divided it into 3 strands, and I wrapped it with the little strands. I wrapped it really, really tight, made sure that they don't move. Now, once I did that, then I took a lighter and I glossed it over to kind of melt the cordage to itself to make it really, really tight. As you can see, it doesn't move. These don't move. Doesn't move. This one's an exception. It fell out. I have to fix that one. But the rest of these are solid, so you can actually use them as functional tools. Basically, my bushcraft X-Acto knife kit that I can use. And this one's got a little pine pitch on the top right there. And I'll get into more about pine pitch on another video. But that's how you make tools out of pieces of sharp flint that you're not going to use for arrowheads, which you're going to get this stuff a lot more. Now, I'm not going to keep on making tools like this, but if you get the right pieces, you can actually make a knife or a saw, which that's one thing. Those are 2 things that I'm going to be working on, is making my own knives and saws out of flint, because if you're out in the bush and you don't have one, it'd be good to know how to make one. Alright, that covers this video, and I'll be back with you with another video. Thank you for watching, thanks for your views, and I'll see you later.